in the shadows of Grand Central. Well, I paint portraits all day long. Sometimes the people share their stories. They tell me the road that they've been on.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Exchange in beautiful downtown Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It is a beautiful central Pennsylvania night, just a rainy night in Georgia here. We're very glad that you are here. So I often say that the world is made of stories. It was a line from Muriel Rukeyser, an American poet and critic in the 20th century. She said, "The universe is not made of atoms, it is made of stories." We do storytelling evenings here with our friends and neighbors sharing stories about their experiences in this community, in their lives. It's how we get to know each other. Tonight, we have a musician who is all about telling stories with art. The perfect person to come here to the Exchange to perform for all of us, John Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. So welcome to Songs, Stories, and Art, Lessons from Strangers. A lot of these songs that you're going to hear tonight, they are about real people I've met, and some of them are just folks that I've made up in my mind. And the way it kind of works is it's set outside, for a lot of the songs, it's set outside of Grand Central Station. And the individual getting their portrait painted is actually the song that you're going to hear in a minute. And then following in the back, you have some of the future songs. So you see some of the characters behind. Now, this first gentleman I met while I was living down in Central Florida. And I was a teacher down there. And my boys were about 18 months old. And we were walking along a rail trail. And a gentleman stopped me and said, hey, how's it going? We started talking. He was nursing a little brown bag. And next thing you know, he told me his whole life story in about 5 minutes. And I went home and I thought about the words he had spoken, and it was just kind of hard not to feel emotional. So this song is for that gentleman. I spent all of 5 minutes of my life, and he affected me. He's walking alone down a strip mall road in Daytona. All he's got to his name is his wallet and jeans and his phone. Straight up ahead he sees a 7-Eleven. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. The telephone rings, his daughter's on the line. Remembers the time he bought her that yellow slip and slide. Thinks about his ex-wife, things were good for a while. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. And he only knows where the good buzz goes. Like milk to the baby, turkey to gravy. Got a beer and a breeze, a hot dog with cheese. And he only knows where the good buzz goes. Dipping his lip, gliding his stride, nothing to do. Gonna go play poker at the VFW. He's pretty sure the moment he went crazy is when he gunned down that Vietnamese family. Came out of nowhere on a mud path. He pulled that trigger, couldn't take it back. That night he held that bottle like a baby, weeping by that Vietnamese family. Sometimes he goes to the grocery store just to feel that cart rolling on the floor. Didn't make him feel like a human being. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. He only knows where the good buzz goes, where that Florida sunshine drips red as wine. Out on the pier, please have no fear if you see Private First Class Joe McGee. Out on the pier, please shake his hand if you see Private First Class Joe McGee. Thank you. So as I did mention, I was a teacher down in Florida, but I grew up in upstate New York. And upon buying my first home there, I had to mow the lawn, and there were many alligators all around, and 5-footers, and I didn't know what to do. So I stopped, and I kind of stared out into this retention pond of floating 5-foot alligators looking at me with my Honda push mower. And my neighbor walked out of his house, because everything's like on a postage stamp of an acre. And he goes, "Nice to meet you. My name is James Bond." And I go, "Oh, wow, really?" And instantly, for some reason, that made me feel good. He said, "Don't worry about the alligators." So I did not worry about the alligators. Now, later on that day, I was picking up a football in my yard. And it wasn't a football at all, but an armadillo. I later Googled that armadillos have leprosy. So I'm okay. Everything's okay. This song is called the Armadillo Song. It features 2 brothers, and of all the time I spent in Florida, I never once had boiled peanuts. And we'll get into the art in a minute. Now, if you have if you like singing along, and if you think you can memorize at least 40% of the words by the end of the song, feel free to sing along. There's a dead armadillo on the road, a dead armadillo on the road. My brother nicknamed it Bobby Joe, that dead armadillo on the road. And I said, "Hey there, bro, I bet you won't touch it with your toe. I bet you won't touch Bobby Joe, that dead armadillo on the road." My brother said, "Don't be silly, I'll touch that little armadillo." So out came his big toe, and he put it right on Bobby Joe. But then Bobby Joe jumped up, bit my brother in the butt. Can't believe it jumped so high, that dead armadillo was alive. That dead armadillo was alive, woo-hoo! That dead armadillo was alive. My brother just ran and cried, that dead armadillo was alive. Doom, doom, doom. There was a dead armadillo on the road, a dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. A dead armadillo on the road, woohoo! A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. And if you think you can remember that, there was a dead armadillo on the road, a dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. A dead armadillo on the road, woohoo! A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. All right, it's a happy ending. Thank you. I found it. All right. All right, now this next song is an example of how sometimes just stories you make up can be someone else's story. So I just wrote this song in my kitchen. There wasn't any great truth other than for me. I broke my back as a kid, and music to me was a way to kind of get away from the pain of just not kind of participating in youth sports and growing up and doing all those things and listening to it was first. I really got into B.B. King as like a 15-year-old, and I loved it. I loved B.B. King. There was this double live album, and then I picked up and played guitar in my mid-20s or so, and that's kind of where this song comes from me. But when I played a folk festival in 2017 in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, a gentleman said, "That song that you played, The Wind, is basically my life story." So I think of that gentleman from time to time when I play this song, and this song's for that man. I was born on the streets below an underpass, outside of Dallas, beside broken glass. I never knew my father, the needle took his life. Mother loved the bottle and left me for the night. Thank God the wind's been on my side. Thank God the wind's been on my side. When I was 11, I stole a pair of shoes, and I just kept on walking and stomped away my blues. Wind's been on, wind's been on, wind's been on my side. It blew me into New Orleans, where it saved my life. 'Cause I was just a boy, looking for a home. I was just a boy when those jazz horns filled Jackson Square, and that old man placed that silver trumpet in my hand. Thank God the wind's been on my side. When I played my trumpet, you know I found my dream. Felt the wind blow through me like a magical airstream. The wind's been in my belly, it's been living my whole life. And when I played those melodies, you know I found the light. You know I found the light, and so I thank God. Oh yes, I thank God. Thank God the wind's been on my side. Thank you very much. All right, absolutely, my pleasure. Believe it or not, my little piece before about how fiction becomes, real life. This, at some level, also happened to me at a little gig I was playing in Greer, South Carolina. I just kind of put this up, Jesus and the Dinosaurs. It's about a couple, right? And a couple in the audience goes, "Oh my gosh, that sounds like our life, like our married life." Now the reason I wrote this song actually has to do with laughter. As a school teacher down in the state of Florida, my school was the biggest middle school in America, and they said, "Hey, John, you're on lunch duty," and I go, "Okay, that sounds like a nightmare." It wasn't a nightmare on this one particular day because instead of listening to all the noise, I started listening to the laughter, and I started to kind of hear how that was a language in itself. And this song's called Jesus and the Dinosaurs. It's set in Minnesota. On your left, you have Violet is a scientist, Hatcher is a pastor, and they fell in love with each other's laughter in a little town up in Minnesota where you only order pop and never order soda. The song's called Jesus and the Dinosaurs. Before Violet was a scientist and Hatcher was a pastor, they fell in love with each other's laughter in a little town up in Minnesota where you only order pop and you never order soda. And all through college they never were facetious when they spoke about Darwin and Jesus. Hatcher was preaching early Sunday morning while Violet just read about dinosaurs. Jesus and dinosaurs, cup of coffee and let's ignore. Rather talk about the swinging door than Jesus and the dinosaurs. When they said I do in a Minneapolis chapel, all the clouds were shaped like pterodactyls. When their boy was born, on his name they quarreled. Hatcher said I like Jesus, Violet said I like Charles, as in Darwin. What'd they name him? When Charlie Jesus turned just 2, in the backyard they put in a pool. In the middle of digging, they hit a big stone. Pastor Hatcher, he was standing there, looking at the sky, saying a prayer, when Violet screamed, "It's a dinosaur bone." Jesus, a dinosaur, shot of whiskey and let's ignore. Rather talk about the diving board than Jesus and the dinosaurs. Sweet Violet that I adore, well, is our love a holy war? Baby, are we just a metaphor for Jesus and the dinosaurs? And things got rough way up there in Minnesota. Things got real rough. Wintertime. And with every season, the tension boiled, all the laughs sunk in the soil. In the kitchen light, no damn solution, chicken or egg, Bible or revolution. But in the corner of the room, the boy looked on, corduroy overalls and crayons. He said, "Mommy, Daddy, look what I drored." With a tear in his eye by his pantry door, saying, "I don't want you to fight no more," was a picture of Jesus hugging a dinosaur. Yeah, picture of Jesus hugging a dinosaur. And he looked up at his mom and dad and said, "'Cause if Jesus loved the dinosaurs, you and mama wouldn't fight no more. Hang it on the refrigerator door. What if Jesus loved the dinosaurs?" They tried to hold their laughter back, but what's the use in doing that? Every giggle shaking their fat, and they hid it on the refrigerator door. They hung it on the refrigerator door. And even though even though Violet was a scientist and Hatcher was a pastor, they fell back in love with each other's laughter in a little town up in Minnesota where you only order pop and you never order soda. And the message they both learned that day is you gotta laugh along the way. 'Cause time it goes by in the blink of an eye. Time it goes by, it's true. And since time goes by, we might as well try to laugh along the way. Thank you. So this project is largely in part to a drawing of the individual who's done most of these drawings. So the Armadillo song was not drawn by this gentleman named Sopri, who I've never met in my life. However, I met on Fiverr, which is an arts service site, back in 2019 when I had this idea to take my storytelling songs and draw them up. So we don't speak the same language. We basically communicate through Google Translate, and without him, this wouldn't be possible. And typically, my brother is here, right here, and he's not here with me today because he got a new job. And I usually play his song, but since he's not here, I'm going to play an instrumental song. When I first picked up the guitar in 2006, I was studying my master's degree down in Puerto Rico and teaching English as a second language, and I was lonely, and I for some reason I felt like a lonely cow, and I don't know why. And then I was writing this thing on guitar, and I'm like, man, that just seems like it should be called Lonely Cow. So without my brother Steve here, here comes Lonely Cow to celebrate the artists in the world. And much of this project has taken on shape in the last few months for me to support human-made art. So this next 3 minutes of images, to me, represents the importance of human beings, 5-year-olds, my daughter's 6, to draw a sun in first grade as opposed to type in the word, draw a sun. For me, that's important, and that's what this little piece right here is about. Sorry. Oh, that's why. This is the greatest piece of music I've ever played right here, guys. What I'm doing for you right now. Thank you. So as I mentioned, my brother Steve, I mess with him. I call him Steve because my nickname is John as a kid growing up. My dad's name is John, so my mom would say John, and then we both walk into the kitchen, and then I became John, and now I mess with him. I call him Steve, and now I have a son named John. But I don't call him John, because I think you need to draw the line somewhere. All right, this song is a song about brotherhood, and I think you're going to question whether or not that's true, because it just doesn't seem like a song about brotherhood at all, but it is. If you'd like to sing along, it's got a little melody. Do 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 do. Off the coast of Norway, out in the water, there lives a mermaid. She's the captain's daughter, and she sings loo doo 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 loo doo doo doo. And when I'm lonely, I go down to hear her. I bring a jug of cold beer. My worries disappear when she sings loo doo 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 loo doo doo doo. And my psychologist says, Stanley, there's no mermaids in the sea. He tells me we're in Brooklyn, but I know that he's lying, 'cause I'm a Viking. Off the coast of Norway, out in the water, there lives a mermaid. She's the captain's daughter. When I'm on the sidewalk, when I'm lost in the cracks, monsters in the window, I sing her song to relax. Loo doo 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 doo. And I might go to Jersey just to see my brother Mark. Every time I see his eyes, it's like I come out of the dark. He's the only one who believes me when I tell him where I've been. Somehow he still loves me. It's probably because we are twins. And I will see you soon, Marky. I'm crossing the Brooklyn Bridge. We'll get fried pickles at that diner. We'll remember when we were kids. Remember when we were kids. Off the coast of Norway, out in the water, we were singing loo doo 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 loo doo doo doo. We were singing loo doo 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 loo doo doo doo. We were Thank you very much. This song is one of the few songs tonight that it's just this picture here, guys. It's all it is, and it's me over here too. Even though this is not telling a story as the other ones do, this one has a story from my life. So when I was, I guess, 10 years ago, my brother, he left Florida and went up to New York, and a week later, my appendix just blew up. And I told you I had a bad back, and I was telling my wife, "Oh, I think my back's hurting me." And then like another 2 days goes by. I'm like, "Oh, this is not right." And I went to the hospital, central care, urgent care, and they said, "Get out of here." I had surgery, and there was complications. And then I went back to the hospital, and then I'm in there for like a couple of weeks. And I remember looking out at a Panera Bread and a Target, and I remember people living their lives, and I couldn't believe that they could live their life, and I couldn't. And I felt all sorts of emotions, having never been in that situation before. And then I got out, and I went home, and I had all these antibiotics hooked up to me. I had to work still, and I remember walking around where those alligators are, but further away from them. And I remember thinking to myself, "Hey, I have a ticket to the day. Here I am right now. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow." It just felt like I had a ticket to this weird world that we're in, and I'm happy I still do. The song's called "Ticket to the Day." I've been a hill heading down to a dead-end road by the crooked shadows on the stone, lost in the light, all alone, till I heard a whisper way up in the trees, said, "Trust the roots and feel the breeze, trust the roots and feel the breeze." 'Cause if the dead were living and the living were dead, would it all be clear inside our heads? All be clear inside of our heads? And I've gotta step outside my mind somehow. The good old days are right here now. The good old days are right here now. Wake up, one more ticket to the day. And I know nothing's meant to stay. Time it goes by and you don't want to die, knowing that your love just ran dry. One more ticket to the day. Wake up, one more sunrise. Wake up, you're still here. Well, if the dead were living and the living were dead, would it all be clear inside our heads? All be clear inside of our heads? I've gotta step outside my mind somehow. The good old days are right here now. The good old days are right here now. Wake up, one more ticket to the day. Yeah, I know nothing's meant to stay. Time it goes by and I don't wanna die, knowing that my love just ran dry. One more ticket to the day. Thank you. This next song is actually where this idea of telling stories to art kind of came to form. this is the second song. I have another program that I play for libraries called New York Photo Songs, and I take real photographs, such as this one, and they're enlarged to about 4 by 5 feet, and I sing the song about whatever this that famous historical moment is in New York State. And that was about 2016. I came across the story of Annie Edson Taylor, known for going over Niagara Falls on October 24th, 1901. 2 days prior, she threw her cat down. Her cat survived. Age 63 years old, not too many months before this date, she was about to throw herself into the icy Saginaw River in Michigan because she had no money. And she didn't want to die penniless. She was worth more dead than alive because scientists would use her cadaver to help out the university studies. She didn't want that to happen, so she had this plan. I'm going to go to the World's Fair, near Buffalo, New York, where it was being held, the Pan American Exposition, I think, and throw myself over. So this is what she did, and this is Queen of the Mist. If you have nothing to do later on in the summer, you can maybe try the same thing if you'd like. I don't really recommend it, but so she did live a very tough life. She buried her only child a couple years before. Her husband David died in the Civil War. And like a dead leaf blowing, poor Annie roamed, looking for a home from New York to San Antone. But time's a dirty thief, how winter can steal fall. Broken old, it left her, and soon the poorhouse called. Seeking hope, she read the news about Niagara Falls, where the daredevils go and risk it all for fame and gold. Poor Annie wandered in the wind on an eastbound train up to the mighty beast, and when she heard it roar, she only had one wish: to be Niagara's Queen of the Mist. The Queen of the Mist. As the crowd gathered round, they called it suicide. It's 63 years old, and to that barrel Annie climbed. The police tried to stop her, but there's no looking back. On down the raging river, her lucky pillow on her lap. 50 feet, now 40 feet, now 30 feet away. The devil had the reins, all Annie did was pray. A mighty blast cracked the wood, she screamed out bloody hell. It was like a silent movie from afar as Annie fell. And down below folks cried, it's a casket in the sky. Children screamed out loud, that old lady's gonna die. And when that barrel rose from the deep, they cut off the lid, and on her gravestone it reads exactly what she did. And what did she do? She was the first to go over Horseshoe Falls in a barrel and live. And that's a real picture. I can't believe that little piece of wood, that's all they gave her. And another tale it tells how she died penniless is a sideshow act named the Queen of the Mist. Annie Edson Taylor, she's the Queen of the Mist. Annie Edson Taylor, Queen of the Mist. Thank you very much. Oh, I did want to mention, just in case anybody ever wanted a Bloomsburg, PA, Make Art Stay Human t-shirt, hey, they're here. As I mentioned, I kind of feel kind of passionate about this idea. So what I am doing is I'm going town to town. Every place I play, I've been kind of putting these shirts out there just in case anybody is interested in them. On to the next thing. I need to retune my guitar here, folks. And actually grab my other one. Joan, thank you so much. It's coming. Etsy takes a long time. Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it. When are you going to get another Bloomsburg, PA, Make Art Stay Human shirt? But it is actually the guy Sopri. He's the one who actually made this picture here. So I guess there is a, it's all made from him. So thank you so much, Joan, for picking it up. There we go. So this next song is, I guess, a snippet of reality, and I don't know how much of this story is this individual's life. However, as I guess the story goes for this one for me, I was just at a hardware store online, checking out, and there were two gentlemen, the owner who was running the cash register, and his friend. They were just kind of having an emotional conversation, and I was just kind of hanging out to the side, and I overheard a little bit, and it was one of those things where I wasn't sure if this was exactly what I heard, but there was a little moment there of what they were describing to each other, and like I said, how much of this is this man's life, I'm not sure, but I think that's part of what songs are sometimes. And last time I did this up in Maine, I was putting this song, and the string snapped, and it's a very lonely feeling. It's kind of like going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. And I don't think it's going to happen this time. It was bad. I lived. I made it. I did not have pliers, though. I just started like abusing my hands. You ever just try to do something when you're stressed? And you're like, the crowd was out there. I was in the backstage, and I was just like, what am I doing? I was trying to rip this thing off here. And then fortunately I asked for help. In a small town graveyard sits an old man who just prays. Since she's died, life's been too hard. He just thinks about their wedding day. And in his hand he holds a gold key that used to open their first home. When he leaves, he passes that old street. The house is there, but everything is gone. And he's on his own again, like a leaf in the wind. Born into this world alone, in between we look for home, then on our own again. On the outskirts of Reno, a woman's face is black and blue. She cries a last tear and then knows this isn't love, what I've been through. And she's on her own again, like a leaf in the wind. Born into this world alone, in between we look for home, then on our own again. Suitcase in a desert motel. She thinks about the roads gone wrong. Her makeup tries to hide her blackened eyes, and hesitantly picks up her phone. And he's had a tear that's been falling since he left his wife's gravestone. Once he saw his daughter calling, he knew deep inside he's not alone. Ooh, ooh. 'Cause she's coming home again, like a prayer in the wind. Born into this world a home, but I know there is a home in love, my friends. Yeah, she's coming home again, like a prayer in the wind. Born into this world alone, but I know there is a home in love, my friends. Thank you. I really like this next quote. I feel like that's an accurate one. This song is essentially about the material world that we live in. And I think it just gets more and more material, right? It seems like that's maybe, I at least, I'm a child of the 80s, and I remember, did you guys have Ames in Pennsylvania? So I just remember, I mean, our relationship with things, at least growing up, was like you were allowed to get like a crappy thing. it was okay. Like if you bought something and it broke, it was like that's just how things go, you know. So we've become such. I feel like as a society, just we've grown even more so, you know, connected to our things, and they need to be perfect, and that makes us more perfect, perhaps. I don't know. Um, I don't believe that, but this song is kind of what I believe. On Black Friday at the Walmart, I met Jesus. He had a special kind of sadness to his eyes. His people ripped each other into pieces over 80-inch TVs and house supplies. And I know the doctors all call me schizophrenic. My brain is broke, what I see ain't authentic. Like that devil laughing down in aisle 20. Black Friday sun was shining like a penny through Walmart's doors. And I lit a cigarette in the parking lot, remembered everything that I forgot, sang a Tom Petty song real loud. Are you a father to each dollar and a stranger to your son? Hey, 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 when the day is done. And I said, Jesus, you're on sale in aisle 7. You come with inflatable gates of heaven. I hate to see you sad, let's get out of here, friend. Up on the hill, I got a tent on a patch of sand. And he said, no one even looks up at the stars anymore. There's a billion lights hiding above this town. And all them lost people would be alright if they just soaked in a little starlight. And I said, amen. I hear you, friend. And then I lit a cigarette in the parking lot, remembered everything that I forgot, sang a John Prine song real loud. Someone's looking up to you, don't you let that person down. Hey, 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 when the sun sets down. Upon this hill above Walmart, as all them shoppers fill their hearts with their shopping carts, me and Jesus, we are hatching a plan. They say I'm this crazy guy, 'cause all I need's right here inside. Hey, when the day is done, are you a father to each dollar and a stranger to your son? Hey, 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 when the day is done. Thank you. Yes. Oh boy, this is the song that I mentioned. Is about failure. And I performed this song honestly live not that many times. Um, and something like things break in the middle of it. Like one time, I think my guitar, yeah, that's what it was. My string broke. Maybe it was that one. Another time, all the power shut off. And this is a song about failure. So it was kind of fitting. So hopefully we'll make it through this song. And Actually, I'm going to play before I get into this one, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm just going to write a new song, play a new song that's just try to get the bad omens away. So this is just a song that I wrote. It's just a fun song. It's called I Don't Really Care Anymore. And now I lost my other harmonica. Oh, play with the blues one. All right. All right, here we go. I don't really care anymore. I don't really care anymore. I've walked for years on eggshell fears. Now I don't give a damn anymore. And you can tell me I'm wrong, and I'll just sing you this song. 'Cause buddy, your ego's not your amigo. It'll hold you down too long. No need to win, no urge to prove. Let life dance, let life move. 'Cause if my head was gonna get chopped off, I wouldn't feel my toothache or cough. So now I fly off like a torn kite string. This hurricane don't mean a thing. And you can tell me I'm wrong, but I'll just sing you this song. Buddy, your ego's not your amigo. It'll hold you down too long. I don't really care anymore. I don't really care anymore. And I've walked for years on eggshell fears, and I don't really care anymore. And you can tell me I'm wrong, and I'll just sing you this song. 'Cause buddy, your ego's not your amigo. It'll hold you down too long. No need to win, no urge to prove. Let life dance, let life move. Thank you. I developed a bad fear of forgetting lyrics live because I was at a songwriters festival down in Texas, and I didn't have any lyrics with me, and I forgot them all in front of like 700 people. It was a lonely moment. Now I'm admitting it on camera here, I've eventually just popped my eye open, just in case I forget one. But that's all good. This next one I can't find it, and usually my eyes are closed the whole time anyway. This song's called Uncle Norm's Golf Cart with Wings. This is the song about failure. Morning after my Uncle Norm died, I missed him so much, so I stepped inside the old garage where he lived his life as an inventor who failed every time. His parachute jacket hung ashamed on the wall by the spray-on hair of the rectangular ball. And I nearly fainted, my heart sure did sing when I first laid eyes on his golf cart with wings. Do-do-do-do, do-do, golf cart with wings. Its keys were still in the ignition, its motor hummed with precision. Aunt Martha screamed out the window, "Stay away from that thing. That's your Uncle Norm's golf cart with wings." Do-do-do-do-do-do. And I don't know why, but I just cried. Somehow this machine was much larger than life, a big old dream that shriveled and died. I don't know why, but I cried. With one bold vision, I dropped that clutch. Aunt Martha screamed as the wings lifted up. Right by her upstairs window I flew. She jumped up for joy. Norm's dream had come true. But I crashed 1 second later, squashed all the garden's tomatoes, slammed in front of a granite garden plaque, and that golf cart went smack. Loo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That garden plaque read, "Failure's storm. Just ride it out till it's sunny and warm. You may even bottle lightning and somehow give birth to a golf cart with wings." And Uncle Norm's last words, "Well, I'll take one more swing. He's probably in the next life tinkering. It's some kind of symbol, this golf cart with wings. Go follow yours. Do it for Norm. Take one more swing. It's your golf cart with wings. What is your golf cart with wings?" Thank you very much. I would like to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you, Oren, for having us here, having me here. I'm used to saying us with my brother here. Hey, Steve. Steve. Hey, Steve. Hey, John. I'll talk about John in a minute again. So this next song is called Graduation Day. And it's about a trip that I took down to Panama City Beach when I was still in college. And we stopped off at a little diner in Kentucky. And before we got to the diner, I was sleeping in the back of my friend Adam's Nissan Sentra. And I heard him say, "We're in Kentucky." And I opened my eyes and I saw a goat on a green hill with a beautiful rainbow. And I'd never been to Kentucky before, and I've never been back. So to me, Kentucky somehow is like heaven on earth. And we stopped off in a little diner. I remember people were smoking cigarettes in there. March Madness was on the television, and our waitress came over, and she had a tattoo of a gentleman on her arm. And I said, "Oh, who's that? Who is that young man on your arm?" And the story she told us, 20 years later, I'm thinking to myself, was that true? What happened? That story about that guy that she had tattooed on her arm? This song's called Graduation Day. felt the cool touch of the aluminum chairs, our graduation caps pulled over our hair, the mysteries of being 18, the open road, a blank page for dreams. We spent all summer by the reservoir, making love, making plans, making sure we'd never let our love fade away, never let the night fade to day. The morning moon broke through, we watched it fade to blue, and I knew I'd always love you. And when we took the corner by the lake too fast, I slammed the brakes, we spun, the water crashed. Like a stone, we sank beneath the sun. It was rising like a thief on the horizon. Window smashed, I somehow set you free. Can't forget you looking down on me. You were rising in a stream of golden water, and when the angel of death came, I fought her. The morning moon broke through, you disappeared to blue, and I knew I'd always love you. By this lake for 60 years I've lived as a ghost. You still won't set me free, won't let me go. And all I see is our graduation day, the sunlight shining on your face. The morning moon broke through, and I danced with you when I first knew I'd always love you. Thank you very much. So when I went to school up in Western New York, I was awarded 2 straight years in a row, world's worst caterer. There are many reasons for that. I just wasn't very talented at the job. I remember my first day on the job, and I'd never actually poured coffee out of one of the, the actual pitchers where you have to put your thumb on it and just kind of, you know what I mean? It was full, and this guy Larry's in the back, right? And he hands me, he's all right, coffee, go, and then my boss is, I'll go and pour coffee for like the lady of the evening, and she's wearing an all white dress, and she's the lady of the evening. There's like 200 people there, right? And I go over to pour coffee, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on, man? This is freaking me out. And then she's looking up at me, right? And I just, anyway, it didn't get it all over. That was one of the reasons, though, that I won World's Worst Caterer. There are many others, but Larry worked in the back. He's this guy, always looked like this. He always looked like he was angry. And one day, I just worked there occasionally. One day I went in the back, and he was kind of looking like smiling right at me. And I was like, kind of confused, like, why is Larry smiling? And I asked my friend, and he said, oh, he met somebody. So this song is called Larry and Linda. There's some embellishment to it, but there's also not. Here we go. And the funniest thing for me for this song, for some reason, the longest time I was playing this melody, right? And I said, what song is that? Does that sound like a song to you? Like it's a famous disco 70s song. Does anybody know what song we're talking about? Check it out. It's missing one note. I'll play it with the actual note. That's the missing note. And it's weird to hear it on an acoustic guitar. So that is Dancing Queen by ABBA. And I was playing it for the longest time, and in the middle of a show, I'm like, dude, am I playing an ABBA song right now? I think I am. And it's just since I wasn't doing that, I was in the clear. The song is called Larry and Linda. Now, Larry in his free time enjoyed working on guitar amplifiers. Larry lives alone in Niagara Falls, all day fixing broken guitar amplifiers. He won't talk to no one all week long. He's just bitter by a bundle full of wire. Larry's customers, they love his work, just wished he wasn't such a jerk. He never smiles, only smirks behind rusty pliers. Larry. Linda lives alone in Niagara Falls, surrounded by old Kodak-colored photos, lost in the life she used to know, looking out onto the world from curtains closed. Linda meets the mailman at the door. She's hungry for some news. Picks up the phone every Sunday to order Chinese food. The telephone rings. Larry says hello. Linda says, I'll have the chow mein to go. Larry says, who's this? When suddenly on TV, their very own Buffalo Bills lose on a Hail Mary. And they both screamed into the phone, son of a bitch. They both groaned. How they started talking, they still can't say. Must have been about the Bills, the Super Bowls, the loss, the thrills. They talked until the night turned into day. When they met up for Chinese, Larry and Linda were so pleased. They had the same Bills sweatshirt on. And they were stuck like glue, like two busted shoes. Oh, I forgot that line. It's an important line. Down a wrong turn in the right direction. Yeah, they were stuck like glue. Linda hit 3 instead of 2. It was a wrong number with the right connection. ABBA. And all Larry's customers were so confused by the endless smile slapped upon his face. And all Linda's longing, it found a home in the love she no longer had to chase. 'Cause they loved each other this much, they know their love runs deeper than Lake Ontario. In a red and blue house with the Bills mailbox, down in Orchard Park, you can give it a knock. There actually is a house like that. It's just not theirs. Yeah, they're stuck like glue, like two busted shoes, down a wrong turn in the right direction. Stuck like glue, Linda hit 3 instead of 2, was a wrong number with the right connection. Yeah, they're stuck like glue on their honeymoon, dancing in the nosebleed section. Yeah, they're stuck like glue, Linda hit 3 instead of 2, was a wrong number with the right connection. Thank you. So I have a couple more songs for you folks. I always say before I sing this song that this is my saddest song followed by my happiest song. Because one time I played this song and I just ended with it, and it was not good for anybody in the room. It was an uncomfortable moment. Now, this song has a personal connection to me. I had to renew my Florida State certification back in 2010, and I attended a seminar, and this gentleman at the time was probably 85 years old, and he was passing around a yellow star that he was forced to wear as a child, and I was holding it in my hands, and he said, other children's edge is frayed, but my mother, she sewed around it, and I was holding it in my hands, and she said, and I was looking at it, and then he went on to tell a story about a hard-boiled egg that for me, listening to this gentleman share this story about his mother, really 15 years later now, sits in my heart in a way that few stories have had in the course of my life. This song is called Yossi the Balloon Man. Family photos on the door, burger wrappers on the floor. He worked Coney Island till midnight. Yossi the Balloon Man, the Italian widows called him. To his mother, he was the cutest in the world. It's one more Sunday afternoon, another cocktail at Lou's. Yossi wonders how they make the liquor green. The balloon animals get the laughs, a pink boodle, a blue giraffe. It's hard to hold on to what's gone when it's gone. And only love will bear the weight of moving on. And it's the spring of 44, he's a child of the war, torn from the basement of his family's home to a concentration camp with a body cold and cramped, separated from his mother by the train tracks. Knock on the barracks door where a man covered with sores, smuggling him a hard-boiled egg, saying, "Happy birthday, little boy. Your mother wished it could have been a toy. Take this blanket for your legs and a little salt for your hard-boiled egg." And he was gone. And only love will bear the weight of moving on. And on that Coney Island bench where old hot dogs kick a stench, Yossi listens to the ocean's lullaby. A pink poodle, a butterfly, and pretty soon it's lunchtime. And by his heart's a hard-boiled egg. The high rollers in this town, they just see an old clown as the Ferris wheel goes round and round. While Yossi's in his mind beneath an Auschwitz sky, imagining his mother boiling water with nothing to her name but her undying love. In the Atlantic wind, he imagines her above. She is saying, happy birthday, my son. You know you'll always be my little one. Take this blanket for your legs and a little salt for your hard-boiled egg. And when I'm gone, know that love will bear the weight of moving on. Family photos on the door, burger wrappers on the floor. He worked Coney Island till midnight. Thank you. So this song goes back to 2019 when my son John, we just moved back up to upstate New York. Really there was about an hour north of New York City. This is Katona, New York, where my grandmother and my grandfather moved in the early 50s from Italy. And I'd always go there for Christmas Eve every Friday. My grandmother's still alive today. She's 98 years old. She makes pizza still. And there was an upstairs apartment. And in that upstairs apartment, I never went there as a child. We'd always have Christmas Eve, and I'd look at that door, and I wondered what was there. Occasionally, someone who lived upstairs would poke their head out, kind of like, you guys remember Three's Company? Someone would open a door, and they'd put their head in, and I go, who is that person? And they would go back upstairs. So it was a mystical place upstairs. And then in 2019, I moved back home, and I lived there. And it was weird, because I would come downstairs, and now I was the person coming into my grandmother's apartment. So upstairs, probably October of 2019, right before the world shut down, my son, John, said, Dad, let's write a song about a beard. And very rarely do songs take form this quickly. This song took form very quickly. It's called Big Old Beard. It's a life goal of mine, to have a beard this giant. And I'm going to start it. BJ, you're ahead of me here. I'm going to start it tomorrow, okay? Or right now, actually. Here we go. I will look like this in some time. I got a big old beard. I got a big old beard. Been growing it out for 104 years. My great-grandkids use it as a slide. Great-grandkids use it as a slide. Out of the kitchen window they ride. It's growing all around my house. Growing all around my house. Down in the garden near that crazy mouse. See the crazy mouse? I bet it's bigger than 30 big pigs. Bigger than 30 big pigs. And I can play it like a fiddle and do the Irish jig. Do-doom-doom-doom. I like the progression there. You see how much they've aged as a couple? And that little orb there? That's so weird. Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. Ain't this a beautiful life? My beard grew a little in the middle of the fiddle, so says my beautiful wife. Da-doom-doom-doom, she's only 109. Yeah, I got a big old beard. I got a big old beard. Stay away from me with your garden shears. And over in my neighbor's yard, there's a big old Saint Bernard looking at me like I've lost my marbles while I'm underneath my pine tree, setting my mind free, singing in the wind. Don't take life so seriously. Da-doom, doom, doom. Just a little bit advice from me. Doom, da-doom, doom, doom. Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. Ain't this a beautiful life? My beard grew a little in the middle of the fiddle, so says my beautiful wife. Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. I love you, my beautiful wife. Happy 91st anniversary. Thank you. So much for coming out tonight. I have one final song for you guys. This song is called The Artist. It's about the importance of kind of keeping art alive and so forth. This is just for my buddy Sapri once again. In the shadows of Grand Central, well, I paint portraits all day long. Sometimes the people share their stories. They tell me the road that they've been on. I get lessons from these strangers when I paint their smiles and paint their shrugs. Somehow the lines on their faces all lead back to fear and love. And I know, time, you are a thief. How winter's always stealing fall. But it's you who helps me see that love is underneath it all, beneath the darkness as we fall. It's in the morning, hear it call. Yes, love is underneath it all. So in this time that we're here, may we love more than fear. And may we know in this time, that love is underneath it all, beneath the darkness as we fall. It's in the morning, hear it call. Yeah, love is underneath it all. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Oren. Thank you, The Exchange. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Armadillo on the road. A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. A dead armadillo on the road, woo-hoo. A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. All right, it's a happy ending. Thank you.